the screen.
Okay, good morning, everybody. We are going to begin recording today's meeting. Okay, we're going to call to order the Tuesday, April 20th Board of Commissioners meeting for Center County Government. If you would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all.
Okay. We're going to move into public comment. Is there anybody here at this time that would be willing and open to public comment? If so, please unmute yourself and you can offer public comment at this time. Is there any public comment? Okay, seeing no public comment, we will accept public comment under each item as it is considered. We will move to our minutes from the April 13th Board of Commissioners meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes from the April 13th Board of Commissioners meeting.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay, we're going to head into proclamation number 9 of 2021, and we're going to be considering proclaiming April 18th through the 24th as Conservation District Week in Center County. And at this time, we're going to turn it over to our Center County Conservation District Director, Jim Kozlow. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. Yep, I wanted to point out that as recognized by both the Pennsylvania House and the Senate, April 18th through 24th, 2021 has been declared Conservation District Week to recognize conservation districts throughout the state and the work that we do. Each county in Pennsylvania, except Philadelphia, has a conservation district. Conservation districts are made up of volunteer directors and dedicated staff to address conservation concerns within our communities. In Center County, Center County was declared a conservation district in October of 1954 by the Center County Board of Commissioners. The conservation district began operations in August 1955 with the formation of our first board of directors. Initially organized to provide for the conservation of soil and water resources, assist in watershed protection and flood prevention, preserve land and wildlife, protect public lands, and promote the health, safety, and general welfare of the people. Today, we still do all those things. And in addition, we provide technical assistance to agricultural producers, cost sharing and grant programs to install conservation measures on farms. And we administer regulatory programs for construction activities to protect our streams and prevent erosion and sedimentation. We implement watershed protection and stream restoration programs, and we provide environmental education for local students and citizens of the county. And I'd like to conclude by thanking the commissioners for their support of the Conservation District, and also to thank Commissioner Dersham for his service on the Conservation District Board of Directors.
Thank you very much, Jim. And yeah, absolutely, we would welcome comments from Commissioner Dersham, as he has been the longtime member from the Board of Commissioners on the Conservation District. Would love to hear from him if so choose, Steve.
Yes, well, thank you, Jim. Well, the pleasure has been mine. It's been over the last number of years such a great group to work with, who show dedication not only from the farming community and the natural resource community, but just about everybody who's on that board has their heart and soul in protecting the environment here in Center County. And they've done the Conservation District Board has done some amazing things, projects to from stabilizing stream banks to making sure that that we have things in place to make sure that just about every project that occurs in Center County of any mass scale, that protection measures are in place. And I want to thank you. I know you're new to the position of director, but relatively new to the position of director, I should say. But you've done a fantastic job, not only in your current position, but as in your former position as a resource officer. So I just want to say thank you and make sure that everybody understands the hard work that goes into protecting our environment here in Center County and the Conservation District, not only from the 1950s, but well into the future. We'll be there to make sure that occurs. So thank you, and thank you to all your staff for for their fantastic job. And I know there's a lot of projects coming up here, and I know there's a lot of grants and such that need administered, and that's not a small chore. So good luck, and thank you to all your staff again for making those good things happen.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, Jim, I'd also like to say thanks to you and your staff. It takes decades, even centuries, to create soil, and yet it can disappear in one strong rainstorm if we aren't real careful about our drainage.
Okay, so with those comments, we would then look for a motion to adopt the proclamation.
Steve, you want to do this one?
Sure, I will proudly make the motion to declare April 18th to the 24th of this year as Conservation District Week in Center County.
I will second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Jim, thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to head into our contracts portion of our agenda today, and we are going to be considering the appointment of a solid waste advisory committee and also the solid waste management plan. And we have with us today from the Center County Refuse and Recycling Authority, we have Joanne Schaefer, and we will welcome her in and see if there's anything you'd like to add to these items, Joanne. Good morning.
I think you're on mute, Joanne.
Yes, thank you. Sorry about that. It's good to see so many familiar faces, hear so many familiar voices. For the record, I also have in the room with me today Mimi Cooper, who is our assistant recycling coordinator and learning some of the ropes. So very quickly, I also want to pick up on what Jim was saying about the Conservation District. Earth Day is in 2 days, so happy Earth Day, everyone. Renewed commitment to our local environment certainly is warranted in this particular month of the year. Coming up, the county is required under Pennsylvania Act 101 of 1988 to establish 10 years worth of disposal capacity for our generated trash in the county. Currently, our contract, the authority's contract for disposal with Advanced Disposal, now GFL Incorporated, will be up at the end of 2022. And so we are required to start the process of ensuring disposal capacity coming up for the subsequent 10 years after that, which means a solid waste management plan revision. So the authority and the county have a long-standing delegation agreement that was executed in 1988 that passes the county's responsibility under the act to delegates it essentially to what was then the Solid Waste Authority, now the Recycling and Refuse Authority. So step one by the way, we have a draft RFP, we have started the process, but one of the things that needs to be established under the law, reestablished, is the Solid Waste Advisory Committee. So our recommendation, and all of these folks have been contacted to make sure that they were willing to serve. Our recommendation to the commissioners of the folks to appoint to the committee, it does meet all of the requirements under the act for the sectors that are required. And those names are listed on the agenda. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. And I will have one announcement when we're through with discussion.
Okay, thank you, Joanne. Is there any questions or comments for Joanne on the advisory committee or the plan?
Actually, I have one. Joanne, I noticed that you are forming the Solid Waste Advisory Committee. Are there any terms of service for these individuals, or is this an open-ended commitment from them?
Thank you, Steve. It is an open-ended commitment. What what our hope would be to follow through at least until the new contract for disposal is executed, at which term essentially they would be rendered inactive. The committee would still exist, but it would be rendered inactive until the next time there would be a plan revision required.
My only comment to that is I would feel more comfortable if there was a stop date certain on here, at least, you know, whether it be a 3-year commitment, at least a 3-year commitment or whatever, until the end of the management plan project. That's just my immediate thought, because sometimes these things hang out there, and 20 years from now you'll find out that these folks are still on this committee doing whatever it is they do. So
that's a good point, Commissioner. My recommendation would be, if you wish to put a stop date on it, to make it 3 years, which would be potentially 1 year past the new contract execution date would be. Just thinking in terms in case there would be some issues with DEP that we would need to extend. So I think 3 years would be reasonable if you so desire.
thank you.
I think that's a great point, Commissioner Dersham. Commissioner Higgins, any issue with us when we make the motion after questions and comments to have it as 3-year terms?
No, I can add that into the motion.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, I did have one, Joanne. So we know that we have the board, the advisory board of the CCRRA. In terms of they don't have any role in playing in doing this decade-long plan. This is a special. This isn't. This committee is just focused on that plan, where the authority still has all the work they need to do.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments before we look for a motion? And did you want to talk about any specificity about the plan, or that your comments already covered that, Joanne?
I think the comments already cover that. Just one thing to perhaps highlight is that the sole purpose of the plan is to ensure adequate disposal capacity for trash that is generated within the county's borders. Different counties do it different ways. We have a history here in Center County of having what there is known as a flow control plan. And I believe it will be the recommendation of this committee to continue in that vein moving forward.
Okay, thank you. And it would be great at the end of the 2-year, or when everything is completed, to maybe have, if you'd be willing to come back and present what the committee, came up with at the final product. That might be a nice way to bookend this. And again, to go to Commissioner Dersham's point, we could then at that point, terminate the board or the committee once it gets to that point.
I hope that I won't have to wait that long to come back, but
Sure.
absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, whenever you deem appropriate. That sounds good. Okay. Okay. Hearing no other questions or comments, we would then look for the motion.
All right, so I will make the motion to approve the appointments to the Solid Waste Advisory Committee with a term certain of 3 years, and to approve the Solid Waste Management Plan.
I will second that as announced by Commissioner Higgins.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded appropriately. Any final discussion, questions, comments? Okay, we are hearing and seeing none. All those in favor of this motion do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you once again, Joanne, and hello again as well to Mimi. We thank you so much for all the work on this. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I do have one quick announcement, if I may. Just a reminder, I know Amy Scherf was there last week, but a reminder to everyone watching today that our annual household hazardous waste collection event will be taking place here at the transfer station next Friday, April 30th, and Saturday, May 1st. We will be here from 8 until 4 on Friday, from 8 until 2 on Saturday. COVID restrictions will be in place. Pre-registration is required, but please turn out if you've got those materials in your homes. Please protect our local waterways, our local land, and certainly our emergency responders by bringing your household hazardous waste to the collection. Anyone with comments or questions can certainly call us, excuse me, as well as check our website, which is centercountyrecycles.org, or call us at 238-7005. Thank you.
Morning, Emmy.
Thank you very much for that announcement. Always good to remind the community about that service. Okay. All right, fantastic. We're going to move into our next items here for the correctional facility, and we'll welcome in our warden, Chris Shell. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. We're bringing to the board today a contract with Justice Benefits Incorporation to identify federal reimbursement monies from the state criminal alien assistance program. The total cost is 11% out of our revenue, which would be a period of 5 years commencing on approval of this agreement. Continue on, sir, with the next contract.
Yes, please. If we have any questions, we can get to them once you're finished. Yep.
Contract addendum with Axon Enterprise to provide an additional professional license. This increased the contract total of $468 per year, a total of $1,404 throughout the period ending on December 31st of 2023. A letter of agreement with the Behavioral Health Alliance of Pennsylvania and Community Care to coordinate efforts to provide for health status of returning citizens who are Health Choice Program members. There is no cost for this agreement. It's just a letter of agreement between us two.
Okay, thank you, Warden. Did have a quick question for the first item for the SCAP program. Is this a contract that we've done before with Justice Benefits, or is this the first time we're doing it?
We've done this previous years. So our contract was up this year, and we want to do it for another 5 years. Not sure how long the assistant program is going to continue on, but if it ends it, then our contract ends with them as well.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Thank you.
And we don't pay any money out unless we get something back.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Any other questions or comments for the warden? Okay, hearing none, we look for a motion.
Motion to approve motion to add the correctional facilities items 1 through 3 to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. The motion is carried. Okay, thank you very much, Warden. Okay, we're going to move into our emergency communications 911 items here. We're going to welcome in our director, Norm Spackman. Good morning, Norm.
Good morning. Bringing to the board today some changes to the microwave radio network. First is Center Communications is currently building out the new microwave radio network approved in late 2020, replacing the network that was provided by Motorola. Change order 7 with Motorola is removing the microwave network and rectifier support from the Motorola SUA agreement effective May 1st, 2021. This change order will reduce the overall amount paid to Motorola by $529,448.40 until their SUA contract expires in 2030. Part 2 of the proposal is from Center Communications to provide support moving forward to current and existing microwave radio network and the rectifiers effective May 1, 2020 until December 31st, 2025 for $224,000. This contract change will save the county approximately $50,000 on microwave network support over the next 5 years until 2025.
Okay, thank you, Norm. Any questions for Norm on this item? Okay. Hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to add the change order number 7 with Motorola Solutions and the proposal from Center Communications to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion?
I would just like to say that I want to thank Center Communications for being a tremendous partner with Center County for many years and for being there for us when we've needed their services, both a routine and an emergency basis. And I'm glad that our relationship can continue in this manner.
Okay, thank you for those comments, Commissioner. All right, so we would call the question here. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay, Norm, thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, under emergency management, we do have a agreement with the Center Region Council of Governments for, and we will turn it over to Margaret at the, or no, I'm sorry, we do have Jeff Warren with us as Jeff, we'll turn it over to you. I believe we have, it says out here on our screen, Center County EMA, but it looks like it's still muted. I don't know.
Sorry. Thank you, Commissioner Blake. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
The Board of Commissioners endorse an affirmation that confirms that we have a county agreement with the Center Region hazmat team. This is part of their process for a recertification. They must recertify every 4 years, and this is just part of the documentation that you're affirming that we do utilize them. They're one of our 2 primary teams, and then they can move forward with that process with PEMA to get recertified, which includes full-scale exercise to do that. And takes about a year for this whole process to go through. So I ask commissioners endorse that agreement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Jeff. Any questions, comments before we look for a motion? I did have one question, Jeff, and it was, I know that we have 2 hazard approved organizations. Do we need to, or when was the last time that we had Eagle, who is our other certified organization? Have we as a county commissioners, have we as a county commissioners worked with Eagle to do this certification as well? Has that happened?
Yes, it does. It happened once again approximately 4 years ago. Their certification will be coming up also. That process, it's the same for us within the county, but since they cover 5 counties, it's coordination amongst those 5 counties for that process. And then also that recertification, not only with PEMA, it's with DEP, the State Fire Academy, and some other state organizations also.
Okay, so they're on a different time frame than the Center Region Council of Governments in Penn State.
Yes, not too different, should be within the same year.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Okay, all right, we would look then for a motion.
Motion to add attachment 3A county agreement with the Council of Governments to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay, thank you again, Jeff. Moving into our next set of items, we have Information Technology Services. We'll welcome in Chad Joyce. Good morning, Chad.
Good morning. Today I have 2 items. They are related to the same project, which is to upgrade the infrastructure and the GTL software at the correctional facility. So the first contract is with CDWG to provide 2 SQL licenses. That contract total is $7,707.64, and it runs through July 31st of 2023. Second contract is with GTL to do the migration work from Oracle database to the SQL database, which will allow us then to do the upgrade. That's a one-time project cost of $29,760.
Okay, thank you, Chad. Is there any questions on this? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to add the contracts with CDWG and Global Tellink to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
For our planning item, we're going to be welcoming in Ann Mesner to discuss this. Good morning, Ann.
Good morning, everyone. I'm bringing forward today an exciting step for the county bridge bundle projects. For your consideration today, if you could approve it today, it would be appreciated to keep, since we have good weather. The agreement with Larson Design Group to perform the design work that will essentially be the life of the bridge bundle projects, because it is a design build project for both of the bundles. The agreement is stated not to exceed $1,122,539.30. This document actually needs to be executed through the PennDOT engineering and construction management system. So it is an electronic signature that Commissioner Pipe can do, or staff, myself, could do on your behalf. It's up to you.
Okay, thank you, Ann. Any questions on this? Any comments, feedback? Okay. I think we're all we've discussed this many times at our meeting. So to approve it today, I think is certainly doable. We could look at doing that. In terms of the length of time that it'll take before there's another point in time, like a benchmark, that where you could potentially come back in to talk about the progress that's been made. Would that be the bidding of it, or what would be the next time that we would see maybe some again, like a benchmark that you could share with us the progress on this hand?
Well, right now we are just working with executing the design agreement. So there is a period of time that's going to be devoted to design. A minimum 6 to 8 months is my understanding, but I am happy to provide an update when you think it would be appropriate. And then at a later date, there would be an additional contract for construction, which would be an additional step that would include submissions for construction or rehabilitation of these bridges.
Okay, so Larson really is going to be working for the rest of 2021 on this build out or the designs, and then in 2022, maybe then we'll see maybe a bid let for the 2022 season. Is that fair to say?
It's going to be a little tight, but we are hopeful that we could get something in 2022.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any other final questions before we would look for a motion to approve? Okay. Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to add the agreement with the Larson Design Group, Inc. to next week's consent agenda.
Well, just if I could, Ann had suggested that we approve it today. If you're
I'll approve it now?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yes, please.
So motion to approve the agreement with the Larson Design Group, Inc. immediately.
Okay.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the agreement. Any final discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. And we can talk offline about how to sign it electronically.
Okay, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ann. Okay, moving into human service items, we will turn it over to our human service administrator, Natalie Corman, at this time. Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning. So on behalf of the Adult Services Office, I have before the board a contract addendum with Service Access and Management. to provide the administrative assistance that they did for us in 2020 for the CARES Rental Relief Program. After all the reporting has been submitted to the state, we increased this budget to a total of $743,255.31, which reflects the assistance that was provided during the CARES Rent Relief Program.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. And in terms of the percentage that went to SAM, was there a percentage that went to them?
Extremely large. I think we only kept a very, very, very small percent for admin.
Oh, okay. So in terms of the, I'm sorry, I should say this.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yep. This would essentially be
this
reflected.
is really what went out to the public. This is the rental assistance that went to the community. Yes. And so, yes, also there was a very, very small percentage that was part of the admin for what they did. I'm sorry, Commissioner Pipe, I know what
That's
you
fine.
but yes, the large majority of this was actually the assistance that went into the rent to landlords on behalf of tenants.
Okay, fantastic. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Any questions on this one? Other questions? Okay. Would there be a motion?
Motion to add the contract addendum with Service Access Management, Inc. to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Yeah. So on behalf of the MHID office, so we also have a letter of agreement with BHARP and community care, just like the correction facility did. This is specific under our drug and alcohol department. Again, this is just us doing all of these as we enter into this contract with the Department of Human Services and our Health Choices contract for Medicaid. There's no cost for the agreement, just outlines the drug and alcohol services we would provide to the community that BHARP and CCBH would support. And then the second one's a linkage agreement with Marikey. So while we contract with Marikey for services, this really allows us, along with Huntington Mifflin Juniata and our Center County CAS, which is really about services to children and adolescents. And so it allows us to work together on providing care for children, youth, and families across those 4 counties in whatever mechanism that we need to do to support families that Marikey might serve.
Okay. Any questions on those 2 items under MHID EI?
Nope.
Okay. Seeing and hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to add the letter of agreement with BHARP and the linkage agreement with Marikey of Pennsylvania to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion has carried. All right, thank you, Natalie. And we're going to actually just, I think, are you also going to present for the aging? Okay, great. Okay.
So on behalf of the Department of Aging, what we have before the board is our cooperative block grant agreement amendment with the Department of Aging. So Aging has their own block grant that provides the funding for the variety of services that they offer their family caregiver, our ombudsman, a prize, nutritional, obviously the options, which is the large amount of homemaker services that we do. And so this agreement by the Department of Aging outlines the annual funding for each of those line items that we will receive money for. So the total annually from 2021 to 2025 is $1,523,580. And that is exactly the same reflective amount that we had in our agreement for 2016 to 2021. Now, throughout each fiscal year, we have the opportunity to go back to the Department of Aging, ask for additional funding if we're trending in one area higher or lower. And we've had good response by our Department of Aging to do as much as we can to get funding into our community for services. So this agreement really just outlines that federal and state funding that we receive funneled through the Department of Aging over the next 5 years. 4 years, I guess. 5 years. 5 years.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. Is there any feedback or questions on this grant?
Natalie, I'm glad you covered that there is flexibility should we start experiencing needs over the county budget, because level of funding over a 10-year period, especially for an area like aging, seems perhaps not very well thought out.
Yeah, our department's done a really good job with that, especially some of the caregiver support really promoting that program and being able to kind of maximize that money for other communities that might not be able to. They've just done a really good job of fiscally going back to the department to say this is what we need when we've had to. So, and if the money's there, they support us.
Because it's actually, you know, so much more affordable for the state and the feds, and so much better for the seniors if they are able to stay on their own homes.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so we will look for a motion then.
Motion to add the cooperative block grant agreement amendment with the Pennsylvania Department of Aging, the next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion or questions? Seeing and hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay, thank you again, Natalie.
Yeah.
Okay, moving into criminal justice planning, we do have a grant application to PCCD that we're going to welcome in Carrie Hull to discuss. Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning. I'm requesting the board's approval today to submit a grant application to the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency for the 2021-2022 Intermediate Punishment Funds. This is a reoccurring grant opportunity that Center County has participated in for an estimated probably over 2 decades. They are state funds, and Center County is eligible for $130,000 in grant funds. These funds support our intermediate punishment program, our DOI court, some staff salaries, treatment services, and treatment-related costs.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. Any questions on the grant application? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion?
Yeah, happy to make the motion because it's a great program. Motion to approve the submission of the grant application to the PCCD.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.
For our Planning and Community Development Office, we're going to welcome in Ray Stolinas for this item for CDBG. 2 items for CDBG. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you. 2 requests regarding the fiscal year 2020 Community Development Block Grant application and contract. The first item on the agenda is the delegation of signing authority for the grant invoices under contract C0005971. It's in the amount of $466,379 for the period of January 27th, 2020 through March 8th of 2025. This delegates myself as the Director of Planning and Community Development with the authority to sign all CDBG invoices for submittal to DCD in concert with CDCOG. If you recall, fiscal year 2020 application includes the Penn Township Water Tank Project, the Haynes-Aaronsburg Water Well Rehab, and Bellefonte Streetscape Safety Improvement. The second item is the Federal Funding Accountability and Transparency Act subrecipient data sheet, which basically ensures that that the form is correct and the application is correct, and that the chairman has verified that. Once these are signed and submitted to DCD, the clock will begin on signing the e-signature for the contract for the fiscal year 2020 application. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ray. Any questions on these items for CDBG? Okay, we're hearing none. Is there a motion to approve the 2 items?
Motion to approve the planning items 1 and 2.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Ray, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
And we have one final item here under grants. It's a sub-grant award notification from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency for the probation and parole grant in aid. The project total is $99,500, and it is state funded 100% for the period of July 1st through June 30th, 2021. We look then for a motion to approve the sub-grant award.
Motion to approve the sub-grant award notification from the PCCD.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Going into our consent agenda, we have two items. Is there a motion to approve those two items?
Motion to approve this week's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion has carried. For our ABCs today, we would look for the approval of 7 individuals for the Center County Federation of Public Libraries. And each of the terms is for the calendar year of 2021. We have 2 from our own organization, Commissioner Stephen Dersham, Administrator Margaret Gray. We also have Helen D. Philippus, Carl Inglesby, Sharon Rovansik, Barbara Ziff, and Kimberly Fragola. And we will look for those appointments. Is there a motion to approve them?
Enthusiastic motion to approve the ABC appointments to the Center County Federation of Public Libraries.
Should I abstain from this vote or can I make the second?
I think this is it's up to you. I mean, we can. You want to take the motion separately for just you, and then you could vote on everybody else, Commissioner?
That'd be fine. If we
Okay.
could do that, if you could mind amending the motion to approve
All right,
that.
I will amend my motion to approve all of the ABC appointments to the Center County Federation of Public Libraries, holding Steve Dersham's appointment until the next motion.
I will second that.
Okay. All right. Great. We've got the motion and the second on that amended motion for the 6 individuals on the list. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. And then we look for a motion for Commissioner Dersham.
Now I will make the motion to appoint Commissioner Stephen Dersham to the Center County Federation of Public Libraries.
And I will second that. It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? We appreciate your service, Commissioner. Thank you to that on that federation. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions?
And I abstain.
Okay.
I'll
All
abstain.
right. Motion has passed with 2 votes and 1 abstention. Okay. We do not have, we should, yes. We do have, yes, we do. We have a letter of support that we'd like to consider adding to the agenda. We'll turn it over to Commissioner Higgins.
Thank you very much, Steve. I would like to make a motion to add a letter of support from the Ben Franklin Technology Partners to U.S. Representative Glenn Thompson's office.
So you just want me to second that at this point?
Yeah, and this would
You
just
need
be
to
to
add
add it to the agenda, yes.
Okay, I will second it for the addition to the agenda.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to add this to the agenda. Any final discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. It is now on the agenda for us to discuss.
Shall I give some background on it, Commissioner Pipe?
I think that'd be great. Thank you, Commissioner.
All right. So the Ben Franklin Technology Partners of Central and Northern Pennsylvania covers much of the T in Pennsylvania. It covers everything south of us, and it covers to the north and northwest. Their largest office is in State College, but I know they have a fairly large office in Erie, which I have visited. They're asking for this particular letter of support to be sent to U.S. Representative Glenn Thompson because there is a very substantial overlap between Glenn Thompson's geography that he represents and a very substantial fraction of the geography covered by Ben Franklin Technology Partners of Central and Northern Pennsylvania. Some of you may be familiar that this upcoming federal fiscal year, there are now some limited earmark monies available to our congressional representatives. And Ben Franklin Technology Partners would like to put in a letter of support asking for Glenn Thompson to use some of his earmark monies to enlarge the services that Ben Franklin provides to entrepreneurs in the area. And trying to read this quickly here, they would like to do some additional competitions to help the local entrepreneurs raise money. They would also like to offer some additional training, especially, I believe, in marketing for the local technology companies as well.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. And so again, just a letter of support. There's no money attached to this that we would be contributing. Just essentially the Board of Commissioners' support for this program that Ben Franklin is suggesting.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or discussion on this? Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion to approve the letter?
Motion to approve the letter of support from Ben Franklin Technology Partners of Central and Northern Pennsylvania to U.S. Representative Glenn Thompson.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay, thank you, Commissioner Higgins. For our administrator's report, we'll turn it over to Margaret.
I do not have any updates for you today.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. We will then go back to Commissioner Higgins for our check run.
Sure, a substantially larger than average check run today of $3,272,067.41. And I will explain the reason for the large check run. Otherwise, it would have been about an average check run. We sent a check to the CETA Council of Governments for the State of Pennsylvania CHIRP Hospitality Grant Program of $1,839,232 because I believe possibly as soon as the end of this week, the CETA Council of Governments will be mailing checks totaling $1,455,000 to 67 hospitality companies that are owned and operated here in Center County. And the second round of the CHIRP grants did just close 2 days ago. So would like to make a motion to approve the check run dated April 16th.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the check run. Any final discussion on the check run? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. For our voter registration report, we'll turn it over to Commissioner Dersham.
Good morning, everybody. We have this morning 105,162 registered voters in Center County. That's down 24 from last report. The roster looks like the Democratic Party has 44,151, the Green Party 130, Libertarian Party 688. No affiliation is 13,956, and the Republican Party is 42,340, which leads all other registrants at 3,888. Of those almost 4,000 voters, I would like to feature the Halloween Party today. And the Halloween Party has one registered voter in Center County. My feature party, or my feature precinct of the week is precinct number 18, which is State College Northwest. It votes at the Alpha Fire Company. And in the last election, there were 2,316 registered voters in precinct 18. There were 810 ballots cast, and that leads to a percentage turnout of 34.97%. I'd like to also thank the folks that man and staff the precinct. The judge of elections is Albert Nackpill. The minority inspector is Cynthia Nackpill. The majority inspector is Don McGuire. And the clerks are Michaela Corrigan, Carrie Jackson, Max Barrier, Jordan Lauk, Stephen Ivick, Grace Brennan, Nicholas Krieger, Devin Osborne, and Juliet Mitrovich. And we want to again thank them and thank the Alpha Fire Company for allowing us to use their facility. And we'll be back before we know it to grace their hall for one more day this spring. So thank you, everybody, and that's my report.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. We will then move into our announcements. We just want to remind everybody that tomorrow is the last day for folks to get onto the surplus vehicle sale. That's happening right now on govplanet.com. If there's any questions you have, please reach out to our transportation office. There's, again, about 24 hours left for the bidding on that site for some of our surplus vehicles. All right, and then we're going to look to see if we have any executive sessions to report, or if we have any need to hold an executive session.
No executive sessions to report and no need for an executive session.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. And we would then we have the balance of our meeting schedule this week, and then we also have, let's see here, some election announcements. We still have some time to register to vote. And we'll, at this time, take any questions from the press if there are any at this time. Okay, we're seeing no questions from the press at this time. Then we would look to go, or we look for a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Motion to adjourn the commissioners meeting at 10:51.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of adjourning the commissioners meeting today, do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Thank you all. Have a great day.